Hello class, I'll be going over lesson 17 of module 4 relating decimal and fraction multiplication. This is the lesson that we missed today because we had a small reteach that we had to do in order to better prepare yourself for the quiz. Now, let's go ahead and start off this quick lesson by writing down a couple of fractions and a couple of decimals. How would you write down 1/10 as a fraction? Well, I would write that down as 1/10, 1 over 10. Now, as a decimal, I would write 1/10 as simply 1/10. There's my period, or my decimal, and here is my tenths place. That is 1/10. Now, if I had 2/10, I would have, in decimal form, 2/10. Same if I had 3/10, I would have 3/10. If I had 37/10, I would have 37/10. Wherever we ended, such as the tenths place, is where our number will end. So we don't have a 3 here and the 7 here, because this is the hundredths place. Then that would be 37 hundredths. We'd write that as period 37 hundredths. That ends in the hundredths place, right? So let's go ahead and kind of just travel back in time to the first week of school, where we had something that looked kind of like this, except you guys had it in a really nice thing that you guys can erase it from. I don't. So here we go. This is my tenths place. Here is my hundredths. Here is my ones place. And here is my tens place. And we would say like something similar to 14. Here's 14. Well, 14 times a tenth. So 14 times 1/10 would give us 14 tenths. Now, 14 times 10, 14 tenths times 10 would give us 14. 14 times 1/10 will give us 14 tenths. Now just remember, last time we did this, if we had 14 tenths and we multiplied it by 10, our digits shifted. This digit would go whoop, and that digit would go whoop, and that's where they would be. So now that we've gone ahead and reviewed something that we did in the past, let's go ahead and multiply a whole number by a decimal. My whole number is 4 times my decimal, which is 1/10. Now let's go ahead and relate that decimal to a fraction that we know. Well, we know that 1/10 is really 1/10. So let's go ahead and change the rest of our problem. Now we have 4 times 1/10, which is going to give us 4 times 4 is 4. Oh, what goes here? Don't forget your 1. 1 times 10 is 10. So our answer is 4/10. Now I know I'm going to see a lot of comments of, you can simplify. Let's go ahead and simplify that. I'm going to take my smallest number, such as my 4, and I'm going to label all of the factors of 4. I have 1, 2, and 4. Well, I know that 1 goes into 10. It goes into almost any number. No, it goes into every number. So no, we're not going to use that. 2 goes into 4 and 10, so I'm going to keep that there. 4 goes into 4, but it doesn't go into 10. So I'm going to get rid of that number as well. So let's go ahead and divide 4/10 by 2 over 2. 4 divided by 2 gives us 2. And 10 divided by 2 gives us 5. Our final answer is 2/5. Now, let's go ahead and multiply a decimal by a decimal. A decimal such as 2/10 times 1/10. Before you solve this, I want you to convert them into fractions. So you know that 2/10 is 2 over 10, and 1/10 is 1/10, or 1 over 10. 2 times 1 is 2, and 10 times 10 is 100. Now, I'm going to stop right here because you guys are seeing a model on your homework. The model looks something like this, and it looks like the base 10 blocks you used to use back when you were in elementary school. I mean, you are elementary school, more like kindergarten. Oh, I didn't realize that's in the way. Something like this, and then you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There we go. So we have 10, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew, made it. Just barely. Let's go ahead and label our 2/10 on this model. Well, here is my 2/10. I'll show you why. When we're labeling, we're only labeling the rows when we're labeling from this side. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10, and I'm going to shade in 2. Now I'm going to shade. I'm going to label and model my 1/10. So I'm only going to shade in this many. That represents my 1/10, because going this way in columns, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we have 1 shaded in. That is 1/10 of these 10 columns. And this is 2/10 of these 10 rows. Now, altogether, we have 100 boxes, because 10 times 10 will give me 100 boxes. And I have 2 that are double shaded. That is what the model is asking you. It's asking you to model this into this, and then label. Make sure you label. Whatever is double shaded will be your numerator, and the entirety of the box, so 100, will be your denominator. And that is it.